Hello there. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Trinity Stamps live crafting with Carrie, card making with Carrie. Hi, Lynn. Thanks for coming on. Hey, T. How are you guys? I'm so excited for my card. I will say I had so much fun with this. And Sandy Cogdale, she made a card very similar. I saw it last night after I'd already made mine. So I'm going to share that on our Instagram soon so you guys can see a different version of the same idea. So cool. Oh, thank you. I curled my hair just for the occasion. So I want to tell you guys, like right here, this is not very cute right here. I'm working on this. I have some of the things right here that I'm going to be using for this wall. Going to be making that more fun. So I have like something cute behind me. Yeah, because right now, maybe I should hang something on that door. Yeah, so I've got the things. I'm waiting for one more package and then I'm going to start rearranging the wall. It's very exciting. So I got even like, I got a little neon lamp. Oh, you can't see it because there's jars in front of it, but I'm very excited to like make the wall all cute behind me. And yeah, if you guys have ideas, let me know. Yes, it's under construction. Redesigning, which I will say I'm much better at designing cards than I am at interior design. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so today we're playing with a bunch of things, but we had a customer, Trinity Stamps customer, that asked about our stamp set that is called Pint Jar, Tiny Pint Jar. Yeah, let me grab the things. I'm using a ton of stuff today. Let's get that camera on the screen so you can see all the things. Okay, so this right here, Half Pint Jar. Half Pint Jar, thank you. And this has a coordinating stencil that goes with it. So you can like zhuzh it up. You can add like color to it. You can add shine marks to it and all that. So that's what I'm going to use today. And we're going to like really show how to use this stencil set in conjunction with the Half Pint Jar dies and coordinating stamp set. So there's 3 parts to this collection, which is so fun and so many different ways you can use it. So it's really fun. All right, so I feel like I need to flip my camera here and see it so it's not backwards to me because that really throws me off. Let me fix that. Is that better? With this is over here where it's supposed to be. Okay, good. All right, so that's what we're using today. And then I'm going to pull out some other fun things because I'm going to turn my Half Pint Jar into a jar of jam or jelly. So I can, yeah, make, just a fun color combination. So that's what we're going to do with that. And with jam goes toast. So we're going to use this piece of toast and the toast shaped card for this project today. So we're going to have both on a card. I am going to make it a kind of berry. We'll get into that. So I'm using this die right here from the Oh My Pie die set, which actually coordinates with our circle shaped card. You can make this into a pie. It's so fun. So I'm using that. Let's see, what are the other good things? Sentiments. I'm using the brand new Simply Sentimental Friend. I'm going to use just the die set. I'm going to die cut the word friend here, but we also have lots of other Simply Sentimentals in the Trinity Stamps line. They're like my favorite sentiments. And so I'm going to use the brand new Simply Sentimental Friend, but also Simply Sentimental Hello with it. I'm going to use a stamp from this one to say hello, friend. That's what me and Tanisa say all the time. Hello, friend. Yeah, so there's that. And then I am making an interactive card. So here's a stamp set I use all the time. This is Paper Crafting Magic. I'm going to use this on the card today. And there are dies to go with it. I mostly stamp mine. I use that a set all the time. I'm also going to use a little flag There it is. This is the one I'm using for my card today to cut out some of my sentiments. I love a little flag. It looks like a little label. And this is a 4-bar. I don't even know if this is still available. There's Sandy. I was just talking about your card, Sandy. You are going to die when you see my card and how similar our cards are. Like different fruit, but so similar. So similar, Sandy. It was like, oh my word, we had the same brain or something. I don't know. So anyways, I love this little die. It's one of those sets that you can use for so many things, even though it's made for a 4-bar card. There's lots of elements in there that you can use for all your card making. So it's one of those staple things. And then of course, we're going to use, this calls for a toast stamp set. I'm going to use Sentiment and the heart from this set. And then one more thing, if you can stand it, actually there's two I like. We're going to do some stenciling. So this is the checkered background stencil 6x6. And then we have the add-on that makes these lines. Yeah, isn't that cool? The striped squares. So we're going to give it a little bit of a picnic vibe. That's the look I was going for. Tanisa suggested this for the background, and this is my go-to stencil. I'm in love with this stencil because we have all these add-ons for it. Hearts, clovers, trees, paws, like paw prints, stars. I love this stencil set so much. So I'm using that today. So we better get started because look at all this stuff. Can you, it's like out of control. Can't even stand it. So first thing we're going to do is stamp our images. And let me get some helping tools. I'm going to use my Misty here to stamp some things out. We're going to stamp out our jar right here. So I'm going to stamp this out and then we're going to stencil it in. So the jar itself has a big like open area. And I feel like my jar got a little wonky. My wall, I don't know, it's very thin, so I want to be careful there. And maybe just give it a little love in my Misty. There we go. All right, then we're going to do some Memento black ink. And I'm not really concerned about this part of my jar because that's going to be covered up. I'm going to put a cute little topper on that. You have different options for putting a lid on this. You can do like a metal lid. You can do like a fabric tied lid, which is what I'm going to do because it's just so cute. I like the layers that go with it and the dimension that the stencil adds to it is so cute. So there we have it. I'm going to go ahead and double stamp this because I feel better if I do that, and I have the Misty, so why wouldn't I? You know, it's easy to mask off. Okay, so there's our jar. While I have my Misty out, I'm going to go ahead and do my other stamping of this fabric topper, I'm going to call it, for my jar. And I'm going to do that on some craft colored cardstock. So I'm already starting with a little bit of color here, and that's going to make it a little bit easier when ink blending. So I'm going to do some like tone on tone ink blending with this. We're going to be busting out the Trinity Stamps blending buddy brushes. Do you guys have those? Love them. Hey, if you guys are just joining us, make sure you pop on and say hi. Let me know you're here and give the video a thumbs up. Maybe share it if you're into such things. If you have somewhere you can share it and let people know we're live. We just started doing lives. This is my second one for Trinity Stamps. Okay, so there's the little fabric cover. And we're going to put this Misty away for now. I promise I'll clean my stamps later. Okay, so now we're going to do the stenciling that goes with the jar. So I'll bring in, I like this little like tacky grip mat, I think it's called. I like this for stenciling. So for the stenciling, we're going to do 2 parts for the jar today. We're going to fill it in with color. It goes like that. And then we're going to add the shine marks to it. So I'm just going to make sure I've got this nice and lined up. And I am going to also use a little bit of tape to hold that in place for me. I like that safety. And I don't really care if my ink gets where I don't really want it, because I'm actually going to die cut it out. And so it won't matter to me if the ink is, you know, out of control. So I wanted a certain color. I just went through my ink pads and found something that I liked, you know, a color that inspired me. I was originally trying to go for raspberry jam, but I just didn't love any of the colors for raspberry jam that I had. So I went with this color because this is purple wine. Is that what this is? Yeah, purple wine. And I really loved it. It inspired me. So I went with it. And that is what led me down the path of what kind of jam this is. And so we'll get there. Jenna Marie, is that hello? You're new. Well, welcome. Thanks for jumping on, saying hi. Okay, so I'm going to just swirl my brush around, pick up some of this ink, and then I'm going to start on my stencil, and I have a really light hand here. Really light hand. So, you know, this is not much. Not much is going on. That's okay. We're going to build it up as we go. We don't need to start with the color we want to finish with when we're doing ink blending, right? We want to build up the layers. And you can see I'm going in a circular motion. And if you need, you can even, you know, tap it off so you don't get a harsh line. This is going to end up being pretty dark here. So if I have some darker spots at the edge, that's not a big deal to me. I practiced this before I came live with you guys. So we're just going to kind of make it darker on the edges and lighter in the middle. But you could just fill this whole thing in. But if you're just going to fill it in, right, you could like stamp this on colored paper and make it really easy if you want to just be nice and quick. If you want, you know, some of us like a lot of detail. I love a lot of detail. I want my things to, you know, have a really, like a lot of interest, a lot of things to look at, a lot of things going on. I love a busy card. And so for me, having the stencil allows me to have areas that are darker, areas that are lighter, and that creates visual interest. And, you know, it just lets your eye explore the card and see, you know, the special things that come with a handmade card. So that's why I like the stenciling, and you're going to see we're going to be able to layer this up and get a really cool look with the shine mark on here. And you'll see why you probably want the stencils to go with your jar. Yes, I have blended a cajillion or a ton of cupcakes from Scrapbook Expo. We did our make and take was a cute cupcake card that Tanisa designed. And I help with the make and take a lot at the Scrapbook Expo. And so, yes, a ton of blending, lots of practice. Okay, so there we go. Now to make this, you know, even a little bit more interesting, I am going to bring in a darker color and do the edges. So this is Cosmic Berry. And I am going to try one of our little finger brushes because I just want to get the edges. Now, I'll be honest with you, on my original card, I did not do this on the jar, but I did it on my bread and I loved it. So I was like, oh, I am so adding this to my jar. See how that really just draws your eye in? Yeah, and also when you ink blend, your ink will like settle down, especially these Altenew inks. I find that they just need a little bit to like soak into the paper and really simmer down. Yeah. Okay, so there we have that. Let's reveal. Oh, first of all, let's put this away. See how I tilt it in? Give it a little twist to get all my bristles in there. Snap it just like that. Look how cool that is. So fancy. I love it. Okay, so now because I'm going to layer this up, I'm just going to hit it really quick with my heat tool. And this one has a low setting that's just for drying things. So I'm going to do that. And it stenciled so good. So good. Okay. I feel good about that. And then we have this part of the stencil we're going to use, and we're going to do a different color. So definitely want to clean up any ink mess we have going on so that we don't contaminate our brush. So here, I'll move this over here. You can see I'm just using a baby wipe, cleaning that up. Now, I am horrible at cleaning my stencils, unless I'm like this, switching to another color on the same stencil. But if I'm in the middle of card making and my creative brain is going, oh my gosh, I'm so bad at cleaning my stencils. I literally probably have 4 stencils. Well, they're layering stencils, so 2 sets that need cleaned. And now that I confessed, you know I'm going to clean them. Okay, so now we're going to put this part of the stencil over the jar, and that is going to add our shine marks. So again, I'm going to add a little bit of tape. Tape is my friend. Hold this down. And then we're bringing in, like I said, a different ink. And we're going to do white ink. Okay, so there's some tricks to this. We're going to need some helpers. Paper towel. This is a white brush. We have color clips, so you can change this out and have a brush that fits what you're using. And what we're going to do is pick up some ink. I like to tap when you're using, you know, that really like foamy, squishy kind of pad. This doesn't quite work as good. So tapping works. And not only does tapping work there, but it works here, because this is going to pick up some ink. It just is. That's the nature of what's happening. But if we tap it, you're going to get less of that. Okay, and you might get a little on your brush, so then you might want a paper towel to do that. You can see I've gone over other colors before. And so we're going to tap here and then tap it on. And we're going to do the same thing where we layer on the ink. So now that I've done that side, I can come back and add a second layer over here. And those little kind of stipply brush marks, they are going to go away once you put on your second layer. And it's going to look nice and smooth. Even though I'm brushing this off, not much color is actually coming off on my paper towel at all. I don't see it really transferring onto my ink pad either. So we'll add our second layer over here. You guys, this transforms this. It looks amazing with this shine detail on it. So if you're wondering about using these stencils, that is how. Now also on the packaging of the stencil, it's going to give you a little helper, little indication. So if you're looking like, what is this? That is the shine mark if you want to do the lid. And there's a little shine mark that's going to go right here on that lip of the lid. So these right here, here's another piece. You could do the first layer of your lid, the second layer of your lid. So you could do a gray and a white, right? And then you have these pieces if you want to put, like, your jar has something in it, because you can turn this jar into a candle. It could be the top of your candle. And then we have a whole second stencil for that fabric cover. And that's what we're going to do next. So I know you're waiting for it. Let's go ahead and check out the reveal here. Oh my word. Now I know it looks crazy because we have all this excess stenciling. If you are, going to use this on a card and you're not die cutting it, make sure you mask everything off so you don't have this craziness going on. But it didn't matter for our card today. So there's that. We're going to set this aside to dry. I think it looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? Okay, so next we're doing the lid, the fabric cover. And for that, I'm going to bring in some browns. I have milk chocolate, almond butter, and hazelnut. So we'll need a new blending buddy brush for that, and it is the brown. We're going to start with our lightest color, and we're going to start with our stencil opening that is the biggest. The biggest opening is the one we're going to do first, and this time we're starting with our lightest color. No, it's good. I thought I might need to flip it over, but we're good. Line it up. I am slow with things. If you watch my regular videos, I don't look like I'm slow at things because I speed everything up. So live, you're going to see I'm a little bit slower than you're used to. Let me see if I can scoot this up there. Okay, so we're our lightest color first, hazelnut. And we're just going to light hand go over this whole thing. And again, I'm going to die cut this out, so I'm not worried about getting out of the lines, so to speak. And voila, very light dusting of color, but we're already adding some detail to it. All right, then we're going to go on to the second largest piece here and just line this up. It's actually pretty easy to line up. There are etched lines, so you can use those to help you line things up. I find that very handy. I love that. Okay, then we're going to move on to our second darkest color, almond butter. We'll pick up a little of that ink. And always start with a light hand. And as you're running out of ink, then you can add more pressure. And then I like to just kind of work any ink that gathers on the stencil. Sometimes I try to work that in. And look how fast that goes. But yet, so much detail. Love it. Oh, hi. My dogs are back. They went on a car ride. Somebody jumped up on me. Okay, next we're moving on to our darkest color for the last two layers. So again, I'm going to rotate this and line it up. Tape it in place. Better safe than sorry. Milk chocolate ink. So this is my darkest brown now. And we'll do this. It's just a tiny bit of stenciling. And with these blending buddy brushes, because they cover such a big area, it's so quick to do. Nice. Now we're going to do the final layer here. That goes on this side. Ooh. I'm going to check my etched lines there. There we go. I really am having a hard time seeing this one. I really need my glasses. Did I put them over here? Okay, let's do this one too. Same color because this does not overlap what I already did. Hey, Sarah. Okay, so we'll add our last bit of detail to this. Just like that. Look how cute that is. I love it. I figured mine was kind of burlap. I'm going for burlap on this one. Okay, so there we're done with our stenciling. And we need to die cut this out next. So the dies are really good for this set. They cut out really close to the line, which I so appreciate for this set because it just adds a little bit more realism. I don't like a really fat, oh, I had taped mine. I don't like a really fat white edge, so to speak, you know? So this gets really nice and close. And therefore I take my time to line it up. And tape that down. Okay, so there's my lid. Here's the jar. And it is going to cut out, you know, those rings. You can always just use this jar without any of the lids. That will, you know, be super cute too. I think some, a little stamp that made flowers in this jar and a little water stencil. I don't know. That would be cute. Okay, I am going to bring in my die cut machine. Move that out of the way for now. Let's see if we can do 2 at a time. I have to have a whole separate table for all my things as I bring them in and out of the video. Okay. Do you like my teal pads here? Trinity teal. Okay, let's check these out. I did okay. I need to bring my glasses over. All right, so see how none of that craziness shows, and once I put the cover on my jar, you don't see any of that craziness right there. So looking good. Okay, we're going to set that aside, put these away, and actually I'm going to leave out the bow. So what's cool about this bow is that you can stamp the bow or you can die cut the bow, because you have options. So if you're going to stamp it, I'm trying to find the stamp. Okay, so look at the bow here. That's not meant really for you to do both. You know, like this isn't the die to die cut this out, even though they're the same. This is meant for you to stamp it separately than you would die cut it. So you have a choice there. That's what I'm getting at. So I'm going to die cut those next, and we'll put them on the top of the jar to look like it's tied. That's what this is supposed to look like, is that it's cinched up with the ribbon. Okay, so for that, I want to custom color my cardstock because I wanted my ribbon to match my jam. So I'm bringing back my purple wine, and I'm just going to color my cardstock with my ink pad. I'm going to be quick. You could ink blend this if you wanted, but there you go. Now you've got your custom colored cardstock, and we can use, why won't the lid go on? We can use that to die cut out the things. And I'm actually going to use this for more than just the bow. I like to let it dry a little bit, but for time purposes, we're going to go ahead and cut this out. And the thing that I'm going to cut with this is my berry from the Oh My Pie set. These berries right here. So when making this and wanting to add the berries, I was like, we don't really have a raspberry. And then when I saw these blueberries, I was like, these are also very similar to huckleberries. And my friend and I, Patty and I, this summer for our birthdays, we went up to a mountain town very close to where we live. I live in Eagle, Idaho. And so about a 2-hour drive away is a town called McCall. And we went there, and we went to Ponderosa State Park, and we picked huckleberries by the lake. It was so awesome, and it was so fun. So my birthday is on the 19th, and hers is on the 21st. And by the way, Tanisa's is on the 20th. So it's a good birthday time. Oh, it all stuck in there. So this reminded me of that and picking huckleberries. Okay, let's bring this in so you can see how cute it is. We need that. We need this. Do you guys throw your dies around? I throw mine around. So this is going to go like curved side down like that. And then the bow goes over that wherever you like it. It's so precious. So good. Now I've got some berries here to match my jar. These are going to be huckleberries. Now, huckleberries are maybe slightly more red, but you know what? This is my card. This is what inspired me. You know, I had that memory, and then I can cut out a bunch more berries with this extra paper. But except I already pre-did some, so I've got those going on already. Okay, that's done there. We need to now create our toast. So I have my bread here. And I have my homemade stencil. So what I did is I took the die and I traced the die that cuts this bread out. And that's from the toaster card die set. Traced it. And then on the inside, I hand drew a little blobby shape. And that is going to be the jam on my card because my toast needs to have some huckleberry jam on it. So I drew that. I'm going to tape my toast, which is just some vanilla cardstock behind there, and we'll bring back our inks. So that, remember, we've got the purple wine. is the color. You guys, I am making a disaster in here. Yeah. So purple wine, blending buddy brush. Start off the paper, work your way on. We're going to build up our layers so we don't get any harsh lines. Now on my original card, which I'll show you at the end so we can see any differences we decide to do, because there's one other thing I need your opinion on. I use textured cardstock, vanilla textured cardstock for this part because I thought toast has some texture. Patty! Hi! Patty's on. She's the one that was huckleberry picking with me. Yeah, it was so fun. We had such a fun day going up to the mountains. And what is funny is that day that we went was actually on Tanissa's birthday. And we ended up doing a FaceTime call from McCall for Tanissa's birthday. So it's a good memory. These huckleberries. All right, so again, I'm trying to keep the center lighter than the edges. And now I'm going to just keep going and building up that color. This card actually might end up being for Patty. You've been on the whole time. Well, I just look over every once in a while. There's Larissa. Hi, all the good people are here. All right, so we'll add this, and then I am going to bring in that darker color and darken up the edges too. But it's okay to have it lighter in some spots because, you know, jam can be a little bit translucent. The reason why I thought about doing raspberry jam is because we actually have a raspberry bush in our backyard, and it was our second year of having raspberries this past summer, and I actually had some to make jam with. We ate a bunch of them because you really just get a small amount at a time because our bush is still small. But I froze some of them and I actually made jam, and I had, you know, to supplement with a little bit of store-bought berries as well. But it was so exciting to make jam with berries from my bush. It's actually my husband's bush. Somehow it's his. The garden is mine. Let's see, this year grew carrots, green beans, lettuce, cucumbers, zucchini, watermelon, sugar snap peas, some like weird squash pumpkin looking thing. It was good. I made some soup from it. What else did I grow that I don't remember? Yeah, strawberries. My strawberries did not do good this year at all. I have a situation. They don't get a lot of light where they're at. And then my neighbor planted bushes that block any morning light that they did get. So I don't know. I'm very sad. I might have to forego the strawberries. I'm always asking Patty for help with my strawberry patch because she grows strawberries like crazy. I want to grow blackberries. I want to grow blackberries. That's like my dream in life. I've always wanted a blackberry bush because when I was a little kid, one of the subdivisions we lived in, it had the road and the road ended, and they were eventually going to build, you know, more houses at the end of that road. And there was a gate there. And this was in Oregon. I lived in Oregon part of my childhood. And on that gate, blackberries grew. Like it must have, you know, been there somehow before when it was farmland. And the blackberries grew there. And me and my sisters would go down and pick blackberries. And my mom would turn it into blackberry cobbler or whatever, blackberry crisp. And I loved it. Don't do it. Don't grow blackberries. They do spread. They do spread everywhere. You have room for them, Tanisa? Okay, there's my toast with my huckleberry jam. Love it. Crafting by Joy. Hello. Oh, thank you for the dinosaurs. I know the dinosaurs. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. All right, so there's my homemade stencil, very well loved. We've got our jam, and now we're going to stamp this. We're going to do a little stamping on it. You guys have all day for me to make this card, right? I hope so. All right, we need our stamp set, this calls for a toast, and we're going to pull out this heart right here, and we're going to stamp some of these cuties right on our bread. And we're going to come in with that darker color, the Cosmic Berry. And we're going to stamp them. So having the Misty for this is so nice, because then I can, you know, stamp this multiple times and let it get nice and dark. Okay, the jam stencil, Sarah, what I did is I traced the die for the piece of bread, and then I hand drew a little blobby shape inside of that and cut out my blobby shape only. And then I just taped my bread behind it, and that was my homemade stencil. Yeah, I DIY'd it. I got to dry my stamp off on my shirt. Okay, we're going to do 3 of these. And my stamp is probably going to be stained. And I need to know, how do you guys feel about stained stamps? You know, when they turn pink. How do you feel about that? It bothers me. I don't want it to bother me. I want to be like, you know, it shows that I used it and I loved it and I had so much fun making something with it, but it bothers me. So I very rarely will stamp things in red ink on clear stamps because of it. I can't take it. I need some red embossing powder. So if I ever feel the need to do red, I can, you know, ink it up with clear ink and emboss it with red powder, because it zaps my joy to have my stained stamps. Yeah, over the staining. I'll just get a whole new set. Oh gosh, I pulled out a stamp set for one of my kids to stamp Happy Valentine's on their card, and it had a Merry Christmas in it also, and it was completely stained, and I felt the same. Well, that's garbage. I can't have it. Okay, so there's my 3 stamped hearts. It just kind of dresses it up a little bit because it's a big piece of bread. All right, so that's what we're going to do there. Cute. Now we need the base for this. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I die cut that out, and I was going to beforehand. So talk amongst yourselves for one quick second while I grab the paper, and we'll die cut that out. This is, I had to store mine on the back because this die set is so huge. This is a toast shaped card, people. You guys all know this. Everyone on here probably knows this already. But it makes me happy. I love shaped cards. I love that Trinity has so many shaped cards. And a little piece of toast that opens, like, that's the cutest thing ever. All right, so I was going to have a lot of these things already die cut, ready to go, because you guys know how a die cut machine works. But, you know, yesterday was Valentine's, and me and my hubby got some sushi and watched a movie. Don't ask me the movie's name. I don't remember, and I might have fallen asleep. I did fall asleep at the end of the movie, and I had to ask my husband, did they make it? Did they kill all the monsters? It had the guy in it that's the new Captain America, that guy in it. And they had to live above 8,000 feet. Oh my gosh, look how cute. Because these monsters, I don't know. It was good. The first part, anyway, that I saw. Oh gosh. Okay, so this cardstock that I'm using is like 110-pound weight. It's very thick. And so therefore, it is, you know, kind of wanting to be a little bit open. Look at him. It's so cute. So let's bring back the crease tool and give it a little more love. Do you guys have this crease tool? It is the best. Yeah, so with normal weight cardstock, your thing's going to lay, like, you can't even tell that it's folded. Okay, so there's that. And we got a bunch of things, right? But we need our background. So we're just going to scoot these things. I've got a missing berry. We're going to scoot these aside and we're going to work on that background now. Oh, somebody should turn their cell phone off. Okay, background is going to be blue. And we're going to stencil this one as well. It's going to go really quick because we have our blending buddy brushes. We're going to do broken china. We have our blue blending buddy brush and our matte. Okay, speaking of staining. Okay, for my stencil, I'm going to start with the checkered part. Make sure I have the right side up. Did I tell you how I'm not great at cleaning off my stencils? I'm like, I'm going to just use this again for the same color. So it's fine, right? Okay, we'll give a little love to that with some tape. Looks good. And Distress Oxide. I have a set of brushes for my dye-based ink as well as my oxide inks. I don't mix those ones. They stay separate. I don't want to contaminate my dye-based inks by putting, Distress Oxide ink on it. So yeah, let me grab some water. And this just goes, like I said, super fast because of my favorite brushes. Now we have this situation over here. And we're going to cover that up. So the card I'm making is actually a big card. It's going to be a 5x7, but you can tell my 6x6 stencil, it's not going to make it over there. So we're just going to shift it over and do that last little row. Now, I didn't want to do this very dark because the second layer is going to go over the top of these. So I was just trying to do a little bit of a light hand with them. And then it can have a second layer with the same ink color. I couldn't use my brain to figure out another color. It was hard enough for me to get this color that I felt went with, why can't I line this up? With this paper. This paper has, I feel like a little bit of a purple undertone to it. Am I doing this right, everybody? Sometimes my brain is not as sharp when I'm live. Or when I'm 50 years old. Let's be honest. Ooh. All right. Remember, a light hand with this layer because we are going to go over it with another color. This is my picnic vibe I'm bringing in here. Oh, I did it wrong. Did you tell me and I didn't pay attention? Should I leave it or redo it? Let's see. This will show right here. That's the part that will show. Maybe I'll put something over it. I'm going to leave it. What do you guys think? Thank you, Tanisa. That's a true friend. Okay, so this stencil that we're lining up next, the striped lines, is going to fill in to make this a checker, and it's going to checker what is there, the squares that are there. It does both. And I could do both with this stencil over here, but I kind of liked it where some of them were over the top of a square that was already there and some weren't. So you have choices on how you want to do it. Again, we've got this situation over here, which I didn't do good, masking the first time. One thing that's hard for me is talking and creating. That's why I have to create the card a lot of times before I go live versus just doing it live. I do some lives with Lynn and Sarah, Crafty Fun with Friends, and a lot of times we just create, live right there. But I always have to go in with the idea in mind because talking and crafting at the same time is hard. But luckily, when you're doing it with other people, there's other people to talk, not just me. And it is weird, like standing in here by myself, talking. Patty will still love it, right? Patty, are you there? This one's for Patty. Patty and I have done a lot of stamping over the years together, and this is horrible. And if we ever messed one up, we'd be like, oh, that one's for Maggie, our other friend. This is so bad. Because a lot of times Maggie couldn't make it to our stamp class, and so we would make the cards for her. And if we ever messed one of them up, oh, that one's for Maggie. Like, she couldn't make it anyway, so that's our joke. Why am I saying this out loud? Like, that's so rude. Okay, we're going for it. Look at it. This is so bad. Okay, this is real life. This is real life crafting, right? We're leaving all the bloopers in. And my hands are so dirty. Yeah, you're slow crafter. Yes, I'll show you the pretty one at the end. But I'm going for it. This is one of my mottos in life, in card making, is just keep going. Just keep going. So maybe it'll, pan out in the end. Okay, while I have this little mat out, I wanted to show you with my berries, my little huckleberries. I couldn't leave it alone. I had to add a little shading. So while I have this mat out here, I'm just going to, partially shade these with that darker purple, which is the Cosmic Berry. See, isn't that cool? A little shading. Love it. I have ink pads. Oh my gosh, everywhere. Back in the basket. And look at, let me hold one of these up. It's so yummy. Okay, that's ready. We've got our background. And we're going to add a little grass to the bottom of the card. Here's my grass. And this is the die set. Scenic Borders. It says slimline, right? But we're making a 5x7, and these are perfect for 5x7. Terry's on. Hi, good morning. Thanks for popping in. You guys are great. So I use this grassy border. So it's going to cut the grass and a stitched line. And you can make this as, tall or short of grass as you want, based on what size of paper you cut it from, blah, blah, blah. So don't hide away and forget about your slimline stencils, dies, all the things. They are so handy for so many things. Okay, next we're going to put a little dusting of color onto the bottom of the grass, because that's kind of the look we have today. So it's all got to be dressed up a little bit. Add, that extra dimension and interest. And this was a pretty bright green, so adding a little bit of rustic wilderness on there, perfect. Okay, done with that. Move that out of the way. Look. All right, I think we're getting very close to building our card. I have a little water here. My baby wipe's getting a little too purple for me. And the baby wipe just transfers the water, the ink, right to your hands. All right, card. And we're going to start gluing things together, and then we'll work on sentiments. Okay, for the jar, we're going to glue this right down so it covers up that crazy part. And you'll know where it looks good, so you don't see any of like the tines of the top of the jar. Is that what they're called? A little glue there. And then for this baby, I don't know if I have tweezers. I need some tweezers over here at my live desk. So where I'm doing this live video is not where I typically do my crafting or record my videos. My recorded videos they're done over there. And I mean, it's several steps away. It's 10 or 12 steps away. I'm going to put a little more glue on this. So I'm trying to collect supplies that I can just leave over here for my lives. Things that, like tweezers. Have my different bottle of glue over here. Things like that. And it just is nice and handy. I have a little roll of tape I'm going to use in a minute. So I like my bow on a little wonky. Isn't that cute? I love it. Okay, so we're going to just kind of lay the grass here where I want it. And we're going to glue on this. I'm not going to pop it up, which is weird. I love dimension on my cards. So I do a lot of foam squares, but no, not today. This is going to go tucked into the grass. Right, like so. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. And then for the grass, I'm going to use... That was an extra piece. My ribbon stick tape. This is 1/4 of an inch. And you stick it down, rip it. It's so easy. No scissors. I love that. Peel the backing off. And then I like the hilly part where it's covering up my jar. It's just tucked in there. And then for the other end, that's where my toast is going to go. And so I can just have that swoop. Oh, it's crooked. I mean, that's how this card is, right? So it makes sense that that part would be crooked. You guys. Just so you know, I've been making cards for 20 years. Not new to this. Probably over 20 years. Probably more like 29 years. Truth be told, I was very newly married. Probably been married about a year when I went to my first card making party. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I have to make my Christmas cards. And that's how it all started. Maggie. Yeah, this one's for Maggie. Okay, then we're going to add on our toast. I am going to use the rip and stick tape for this too, just because, I don't know, I just feel like it. Yes, it's interactive because this opens, and it's a very heavyweight cardstock. I don't know, it has like a little bit of a texture to it. So I want this to really stand the test of time and stay stuck down. My pet peeve is when your cards come apart. Now, I don't know if you're like me and maybe don't send a lot of your own cards and you just hoard them. And then like over time, you're like, oh, look how that popped up. So I know that my cards will pop up. Plus I have made cards for like display boards where they're under lights, in the olden days before LED, and it would get hot and they would pop apart. So I'm very conscious of adhesive. See, that's really the only part that's like bad is right there. Okay, so now we have, what are we going to do here? Oh, well, guess what? This fits perfectly edge to edge. So you put a little gift card there. I know what gift card I want to put in here, but I'm not going to say because Patty's on. I'm not going to say. And now we need our like extra things, our sentiments and whatnot. So we're going to do that. Next, we're going to bring out those Simply Sentimental Friends that I was telling you about. That's brand new. Yeah, in my pile of crazy over here, we have Hello and Friend. Friends, really. There's both friend and friends in here. I'm going to do just this one right here that says Friend. And I have a piece of paper with adhesive already on it. I'm going to die cut that from. Okay, I had to run over and get it. So I already put rip and stick sheet on the back. See how it's shiny? And that's going to turn my little thing into a sticker. And that is going to be really helpful. So we can just peel it off and stick it down. Okay, bring back the die machine. Lay this on here. I'm going to run it backwards, y'all. Okay, then I like to just run this through one time. I always remind myself, because I'm kind of the person who will run it through, run it back. I do that on occasion. I think that's the last time I need the die machine. Oh, it didn't do it this time. So a lot of times, there we go. The release paper will stay down and the paper, there we go, the paper stays in the die. I love it when this happens. I actually learned this from my friend Lauren Taylor. She's on the Trinity design team as well. Then you can just take your die. You can put this on right on the shadow die. And if you are doing the shadow die, I'm not. And you press it down right where you want it to go. Bring your pickup tool and just anywhere that there's a hole, except like this right here, that's the little fallout piece. I'm not going to press on that one. I want it to stay in the die. And especially the tittle on the eye. Look at it's magic. Love it. That makes me so happy. Okay, so we're done with friend, and now we want to bring in hello. And this time I'm going to stamp it. Okay, so I already have the stamp on a block right here. We need our black stamp pad and a little piece of paper. Okay, so I already did some berries, and I have that little banner from the 4-bar die set. This one is what I already die cut it out, and we're going to just stamp right on it. Hello. It's the tiniest hello from the set, and I'm going to stamp it close to the flag end. And is it a little low? Yes, but that just goes with the vibe of today's card. Okay, we'll set that over there, and we're going to snip off the excess that we don't need. Voila. Glue it down. Now, see, I was thinking, could my hello was going to go more by the tittle of the eye, but what if we just hide my weird thing? You know, the bad stenciling. Oh, hello. I like things better when they're straight, but sometimes. Okay, so there we have it. Hello, friend. Now we need another sentiment, a sub-sentiment, so to speak. And that is going to be from This Calls for a Toast. You're my jam. You have to do it. Because, you know, we've got jam on our card. I got to put my hello away so I don't lose that tiny stamp. You're my jam. It's so cute. I also really wanted a sentiment for this card that says, I'm your huckleberry. Yeah, wouldn't that be cute? Sarah, can you whip that up for me? Carrie, you're so much. What? I'm your hero. You're too sweet. You're like a morale booster kind of friend. Okay, we're stamping right on the banner. You're my jam. It's cute. Okay, so I wanted this to look like it's the label on the jar. Originally, I stamped it on my toast. It wasn't as cute. So we're going to put it right on here, labeling our jar. It's coming together. It is so cute. Okay, now this is the part I want your help with. You guys have to chime in and give me your thoughts and let me know if I should do this or not. I'm bringing in my Paper Crafting Magic stamp set. I want this to say open me. So Should I stamp right on these hearts where it says open me and have an arrow, or should I leave it without? Chime in and let me know your thoughts. That's so funny that you said I have steady surgeon hands. The other day, we got a ton of snow here, a ton over the last couple days, like piled up in my backyard. It's probably 8 inches. Anyways, I've done a lot of shoveling, and you would think like, oh, the driveway, right? No, not the driveway, the backyard, the grass of the backyard, so that my baby puppies have somewhere to go potty. Okay, I mean, I can definitely do it. I can stamp it, like, don't be scared. But is it gonna take away from the cuteness? I mean, 3 people so far said do it. Tanisa, what do you think? Stamp it. Okay, let's do it. Yeah, because my dog is little. Our new puppy is 7 pounds. Like, she can't walk through that snow, and she's new. So she's, in the middle of potty training. So I can't break the cycle of, potty training. It's just too crucial. It's very crucial. For this, I'm bringing in my Memento ink. No, I put away the Memento ink and brought out my VersaFine Onyx Black ink. This is, it's got some pigment in it, so it's going to stand up over that really dark purple ink I have going on. Okay, so open is going to go here on the middle heart. Cute. Me. This is all from the Paper Crafting Magic stamp set. I'm going to put that here. And then the arrow. I hardly ever use the arrows. Oh, look, this one has a heart. I feel like it's kind of going the wrong way. Yeah. So I'm going to do this little one up here. Because it looked weird when I left it off and had one heart that didn't have anything stamped on it. Open me. And then in here is going to go, the gift card of cuteness. Of yumminess. It's going to be a yummy gift card. Okay, all my little stamps that need cleaned later are going there. Now, speaking of cute things, what do you guys, well, tell me first, what do you think of that? Does it distract from the cuteness, or do we like it? Okay, we're going to add some huckleberries. Now, for just making life easier, I'm going to bring in some mini glue dots and add my huckleberries. I'm just going to set the berry right on the dot, and then I can stick it down, wherever I want it. And not only is it easy, but it's going to give a tiny bit of dimension to these. Oh, my cute. Look at the blue huckleberries. Now, if you didn't have the pie set, but you did have the circle layers set A and B, there's every size of circle, like to infinity, like 6 inches to 1/4 of an inch. You could make some berries with some little circles, but these berries have a little bit of embossed detail on them at the top, so they are a little bit more special. So just add huckleberries. Huckleberries are tiny. If you haven't seen them, tiny. This one is probably life size. This smaller one is probably life size or smaller. So it takes a lot to make jam. And we have actually a huckleberry festival that happens in Donley, which is right outside of McCall, the town we went to that I mentioned earlier. And if you wanted to buy like a gallon size bag of huckleberries, so you could go home and, can you guys hear my dogs? They're playing in the hall. It would probably cost you like $80. Yeah, I don't know. With the way things are inflated, it's probably, closer to. Can you guys go in the other room? Go see Daddy. Go. Get out of here. Okay, life of dog moms, right? So look at the berries. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, finishing touches. Magic. right here. I love it. I probably have too much lotion on for that. Okay, so I wanted to add a little shine mark to my berries and bring them to life. And then I just thought it would be cute to add, you know, a little more here and there. Add some on the grass. It really makes a huge difference. I feel love is in the details, I always say. And this is that little detail, the white gel pen. I like it for stamped and colored images. I like it for die cuts. I love it for fixing coloring mistakes. We'll put some on our jam. So there, you know, there's a part of me that really wanted to like color some glaze and just glaze this whole thing. That would make me happy. However, I really like having the hearts stamped on there and all that. So I'm giving it up for that. However, you could still do that. But what I'm afraid of is sometimes glaze can alter the color of things, you know? And I did not want to change it out. So now this part doesn't match that part, you know. Ooh, let's get this little tail. Oh my goodness. I'm loving it. I don't know. I love the white gel pen of it all. Look at the berries. Look at them. Okay. I like that there's a tiny bit of sticky on that. Maybe keep it down a little bit. Let's add it to a card base to complete the card. So I've got my 10-inch by 7-inch piece of paper. I have scored it, pre-scored it at 5 inches, and that's an A7 size card. I'm going to bring in my ergonomic crease tool, and now you'll see what I mean. It lays flat, which is so important when you're adding a card top to this, a card front, because then it's just easier to line it up. Now, when I make my cards, I really like mine to have a white border all the way around, and then I can, you know, line it up a little bit better. See there? And it laid nice and flat. You can't even tell that my stencil background sucked. Look, I'm so happy with it. Now, make sure that you go over to Instagram and you find Sandy Cogdill. Sandy Cogdill. She's on here. Sandy, if you're there, leave another comment. Hey, Carrie. Oh, I think Mary. Are you on from Craft Roulette? Hello, Mary. Mary Gun Fun from Craft Roulette. I got to pop in for a little bit last night. Some fun parameters. Candy colors. Mary did a card with our extra cheese stamp set with a pink background. It is so cute. It's on our Instagram stories today, or you can go find Mary. Is it Mary Gun Fun on Instagram? Yeah, it's so cute. I loved it. All right, so there's my card. It's got the little interactive thing, which we're going to pop in a certain gift card right there. And then you've got Open Me, and your toast opens, or your sandwich, but usually with a sandwich, the yummy part's in here. So yeah, there it is. And we've got our huckleberries there, remembering our special birthday trip to McCall last summer where we picked huckleberries. But Sandy's card is more strawberry flavored. It is so cute. She used more of the toast stamps on hers. This one from This Calls for a Toast. The faces, hearts. She used the same friend on her card that I did. It's crazy. So also Sandy made a bunch of cute cheese cards with the extra cheese set. It's on the Trinity Stamps blog. So if you haven't visited the blog in a while, make sure you check that out. Her cheese cards are amazing. She used our tiny mouse and made like a border around the edge on one. Oh my gosh, they're really cute. So here's the original. I guess they're pretty much the same. Yeah. So you can see the hello is farther over on this one. Oh, this one has texture. Can you see the textured paper on there? I kind of like that. It's like a bread. It gives you that vibe of a bread texture. So I kind of like it, but the smooth is a little bit easier to stamp. Like these hearts, stamping those hearts when you want them to be solid, stamping words. But I just went over it a few times. That's why we have a Misty. That's why we have stamp positioning tools, right? Okay, so there's the card. I love it. And now I want to make a strawberry one. Like, okay, let's figure out my camera. Lynn, are you here? I'm having technical difficulties. You have to help me. Can I do it? Allow. I'm going to get my face back on there. Hey, there I am. All right. Hi, I'm back. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming on and, visiting me, supporting me, commenting. You're so sweet. All my friends. I'm here. Settings. Yeah, I found it. Somehow both of my screens, both of my cameras were my, downward facing camera. So Lynn is my technical support friend. Sorry, Lynn. I know. I feel like I take such advantage of her, but she's helped me so much with all these things. So thank you guys for stopping by. I have links to the Trinity Stamp shop. You all know where it is. But if you're interested in the Trinity Stamps products, go check it out. And we're going to be doing more lives here. I'm, working on my setup, and it's so fun to just teach live. I've done a lot of it in my life, and so I really like that kind of atmosphere, that kind of vibe. And yeah, we'll be doing more here on the channel. So share with your friends. We'll get the word out. I'm trying to read. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you liked watching. I know you spent, how long is this video now? Where do I see that? I'm sure it's an hour and a bit. Yeah. So thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys so much. And, I'll catch you on your lives as well. There's Sandy. Sandy, what did you think of the card? Hey, Jody. Jody, you're so sweet. It's good to see you. Jody and I went to high school together in Oregon. I was just talking about living in Oregon at Redmond High School. The Panthers, maroon and gold. Although I did not graduate from there, we moved at the end of my junior year to Boise. Then I went to Capitol High. Go Eagles. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you, Jody, for popping on. I hope you're doing well, friend. Chat with me. We can catch up. Thank you. All right. I'm going to sign off, and I'll see you guys on a future video. Usually Saturdays. Saturdays is my day for design team videos at Trinity Stamp. So thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you guys again very soon. Happy stamping. Bye.